General Hospital will reveal Guy Gansert's arrival on General Hospital has not only stirred up excitement among fans but also promises a fresh wave of drama for Nina Reeves. His character, Jeffrey, a passionate and enigmatic wildlife journalist, introduces a new dynamic to Nina's life, one that she never anticipated. From the very first meeting, Jeffrey leaves a lasting impression with his adventurous spirit and mysterious smile. He is not just an attractive man but someone who brings an entirely different world with him, one filled with exploration, risks, and untamed beauty. His stories about remote landscapes, surviving the elements, and his deep admiration for nature ignite something in Nina, a longing she thought had disappeared. Jeffrey's subtle yet captivating flirtations keep her on edge, especially when she has spent so long shielding her heart from further pain. As their connection deepens, Nina begins to suspect that Jeffrey's arrival in Port Charles is not purely coincidental. He knows too much about her past, her mistakes, and the wounds she tries to bury. His presence isn't just exhilarating, it's unsettling. Who is he, really? And what does he want from her? Speaking about his role, Guy Gansert expressed his excitement. Joining General Hospital is an incredible opportunity. Jeffrey is a fascinating character, he's charming, but there's an edge to him. He's got layers, and I can't wait for the audience to peel them back as the story unfolds. Gansert also hinted at an unexpected twist in Jeffrey and Nina's dynamic. There's this magnetic pull between Jeffrey and Nina. He intrigues her, challenges her, but there's also something deeper going on. Maybe he's exactly what she needs, or maybe he's a storm waiting to happen. Fans are eagerly anticipating Jeffrey's debut on March 12, 2025. Will he be Nina's second chance at love, or will he unravel the delicate balance she has worked so hard to rebuild? With Guy Gansert's captivating performance, General Hospital is set to deliver yet another gripping storyline filled with romance, mystery, and unexpected revelations. But this isn't just a whirlwind romance. Jeffrey is not merely an adventurous wildlife journalist with a charming smile and a knack for storytelling. His arrival in Port Charles seems far from coincidental. It carries a much larger purpose, one that slowly begins to unravel as he grows closer to Nina. At first, their encounters feel spontaneous, even serendipitous. Jeffrey sweeps Nina into a world she's never known, filled with breathtaking landscapes and adrenaline-fueled experiences. Their conversations are intoxicating, their chemistry undeniable. But soon, their adventures take an unexpected turn. As they embark on what appear to be simple excursions, hidden truths begin to surface. One particular evening, under the guise of a nature expedition, Jeffrey invites Nina to a secluded location outside of town. As they walk along a rugged trail, he casually remarks, "There's something exhilarating about venturing into the unknown, don't you think?" His voice carries an edge, one that Nina hadn't noticed before. She smiles, brushing off the uneasy feeling creeping into her chest. But the deeper they go, the clearer it becomes that these trips aren't just about wildlife. They're about something else, something far more dangerous. Unbeknownst to Nina, she is being drawn into a web of intrigue, where every move she makes is being watched, every decision she takes possibly playing into a much larger scheme. The moment of realization comes when she and Jeffrey find themselves in the middle of a tense confrontation with a group of mysterious individuals. Jeffrey, always so confident and composed, suddenly adopts a different demeanor, one of caution, calculation. Nina's pulse races as she whispers, "Jeffrey, what the hell is going on?" He hesitates before responding, his gaze locked onto hers. "I need you to trust me, Nina. No matter what happens next, just follow my lead." And just like that, the illusion shatters. This was never just about adventure or romance. Jeffrey had a mission, and somehow, Nina had become a crucial part of it. Whether she was his ally or his pawn remained to be seen. But one thing was certain, her life was about to change in ways she could never have imagined. As the tension builds, viewers will be left questioning Jeffrey's true motives. Is he truly falling for Nina, or is she simply a key piece in a much larger, more dangerous game? With Guy Gansert's compelling performance, General Hospital is poised to deliver a storyline filled with suspense, passion, and shocking twists that will keep fans on the edge of their seats. As Jeffrey's presence in Port Charles deepens, so does the mystery surrounding his true intentions. What initially seemed like a serendipitous connection between him and Nina soon reveals itself to be far more intricate, layered with secrets and hidden agendas. Was Jeffrey drawn to Nina purely out of attraction, or was she merely a pawn in a much larger and more sinister game? As time goes on, the coincidences surrounding his arrival become impossible to ignore. He appeared in her life precisely at a moment of vulnerability, a time when she was attempting to rebuild herself, seeking stability in both her personal and professional worlds. The perfect timing, the way he seamlessly integrated himself into her life, it all felt too calculated to be an accident. At first, Nina is blinded by the excitement Jeffrey brings into her life. His charisma, his free-spirited nature, and the sheer thrill of his presence make it easy to overlook the small, nagging inconsistencies in his story. He speaks with confidence about his work as a wildlife journalist, regaling her with tales of his travels, his encounters with exotic creatures, and the dangers he has faced in the most remote corners of the world. He makes her feel alive in a way she hasn't felt in years. But beneath that effortless charm lies something deeper, something unsettling, an edge to his personality that she can't quite define. Little things begin to stand out. Jeffrey always seems to know exactly where Nina will be, appearing at the right place at just the right time. He asks pointed questions about her life, her work, and the people she associates with, framing them as innocent curiosity, but the way he absorbs every detail feels far too intentional. He is always one step ahead, as if he is guiding her down a specific path, subtly influencing her decisions. Then come the strange encounters, moments that feel like mere coincidences at first but, upon closer inspection, suggest a larger scheme at play. A business associate of Nina's warns her in passing that she should be careful whom she trusts. A mysterious phone call interrupts a conversation between her and Jeffrey, and when she glances at his face, his expression has shifted, his usually composed demeanor momentarily slipping into something far more intense, as if he has been caught off guard. He brushes it off with a smile, but the unease lingers. The most alarming moment occurs when Nina stumbles upon a conversation she was never meant to hear. Jeffrey, speaking in hushed tones to an unknown contact, mentions her name alongside cryptic references to a project and a timeline. The realization is chilling. This is not just a passionate romance or a chance meeting. There is a plan in motion, and she is at the center of it. As the walls start closing in around her, Nina is faced with an impossible dilemma. Has she fallen for a man who truly cares for her, or is she merely a piece in a larger, carefully constructed puzzle? And if Jeffrey is playing a role, what exactly is his endgame? The deeper she digs, the more she realizes that the forces at work are far greater than she imagined. The tension surrounding Jeffrey's true identity continues to build, leaving audiences captivated by the unfolding mystery. General Hospital is set to deliver a storyline that goes beyond romance, intertwining suspense, danger, and deception in a way that will keep viewers on edge. Jeffrey is not just another love interest, he is a catalyst for something much bigger, something that will shake Nina's world to its core. Not only are the viewers captivated by Jeffrey's sudden arrival in Port Charles, but even the residents of General Hospital begin to question his true identity. The enigmatic journalist may have charmed Nina, but those around her are not as easily convinced, especially Ava Jerome. Known for her keen intuition and natural skepticism, Ava has always been able to sense when something, or someone, feels off. And from the moment she meets Jeffrey, an uneasy feeling settles in her chest, one she simply cannot ignore. At first, Ava keeps her suspicions to herself, silently observing his interactions with Nina. She notices the way he seamlessly integrates himself into Nina's life, the way he always seems to have the perfect response, as if he has studied her beforehand. He exudes confidence, but there is something too polished about him, as though he has carefully curated his image to fit into Nina's world. His charm is undeniable, but to Ava, it feels like a performance, one that she is determined to unravel. As days pass, Ava begins to pick up on subtle inconsistencies in Jeffrey's stories. His tales of traveling the world as a wildlife journalist sound impressive, but when she casually brings up specific locations, probing for details, his responses are vague, almost rehearsed. He is careful, but not careful enough. And when she witnesses him receiving a cryptic phone call late at night, his demeanor shifting from relaxed to tense in a matter of seconds, her suspicions grow even stronger. Ava's instincts tell her that Jeffrey is looking for something. Or someone, and that Nina is merely a piece of a much larger puzzle. The question is, what is his endgame? And more importantly, how much danger is Nina in? Determined to uncover the truth, Ava starts digging into Jeffrey's background. She enlists the help of an old contact with connections in investigative journalism, hoping to find any trace of his past. What she discovers is chilling: records that don't add up, a trail of carefully constructed identities, and a pattern of appearing in places where significant, often dangerous, events have taken place. She tries to warn Nina, but her friend is too enamored with Jeffrey to see the warning signs. Nina, still healing from past heartbreaks, wants to believe in the magic of this newfound connection. She dismisses Ava's concerns as unnecessary paranoia, accusing her of being overly cautious. But Ava refuses to back down. She has seen too many people fall victim to deception, and she is determined not to let Nina be one of them. As the tension escalates, Ava finds herself in a precarious position. She has poked the bear, and Jeffrey knows it. His demeanor toward her changes, still polite, still charming, but with an undercurrent of warning. It is a silent battle of wills, an unspoken acknowledgement that Ava is onto him. And if she continues to dig, she may find herself in deeper trouble than she ever anticipated. The mystery surrounding Jeffrey deepens, and with each passing day, the stakes grow higher. Is he a man simply running from his past, or is he orchestrating something far more sinister? And if Nina is just one piece of his plan, what does that mean for everyone else in Port Charles? As Ava inches closer to the truth, one thing becomes clear: Jeffrey is not who he claims to be, and by the time Nina realizes it, it might already be too late. As the mystery surrounding Jeffrey deepens, General Hospital fans find themselves captivated by the intricate layers of deception, romance, and suspense woven into his storyline. What initially appeared to be a passionate, whirlwind love story between Jeffrey and Nina now reveals itself as something far more complex and dangerous. The growing questions surrounding his presence in Port Charles drive the tension higher with each passing episode. Is Jeffrey truly in love with Nina, or is she merely a pawn in a carefully orchestrated plan? Who sent him here, and why? What larger scheme is at play beneath the surface of this seemingly serendipitous romance? From the moment Jeffrey arrived in Port Charles, there was something different about him, something that made him stand out, not just to Nina but to those around her. At first glance, he seemed like a charismatic, free-spirited journalist, a man whose passion for the natural world brought him to new and exciting places. His adventurous stories, his charm, and his seemingly effortless way of connecting with Nina made him an intriguing figure, someone who felt like a breath of fresh air in her life. But as time passed, subtle cracks began to form in the carefully crafted image he projected. His presence in Nina's life, while thrilling and new, started to feel almost too perfect, as if every move he made was calculated. It didn't take long for some of the more skeptical residents of Port Charles to take notice. Ava Jerome, with her sharp instincts and natural distrust of outsiders, was the first to sense that Jeffrey was hiding something. Unlike Nina, who had allowed herself to be swept up in the excitement of their connection, Ava kept her distance, watching him closely, studying the way he maneuvered his way into Nina's world. And what she saw only fueled her suspicions. Jeffrey always seemed to know just a little too much. He asked questions that felt probing, even when disguised as innocent curiosity. His timing was impeccable, always showing up at just the right moment, always saying just the right thing. It was as if he had studied Nina beforehand, learning everything about her before ever stepping foot in Port Charles. But Ava wasn't the only one who began to see through the cracks. Valentine Cassadine, a man who had spent most of his life playing in the shadows, recognized something familiar in Jeffrey's tactics. The way he carried himself, the way he avoided giving direct answers, the way he maneuvered around uncomfortable questions, these were the marks of a man who had something to hide. Valentine had spent enough time around deception to know when he was staring right at it. His gut told him that Jeffrey wasn't just some wandering journalist looking for a story, he was here for a reason. And that reason likely had nothing to do with love. As more people in Nina's orbit started to question Jeffrey's true motives, so did the audience. The signs were becoming too obvious to ignore. His knowledge of Port Charles, his uncanny ability to be exactly where he needed to be, his almost unnatural ease in adapting to the town, none of it felt coincidental. And when Ava, unable to shake her suspicions, began digging into Jeffrey's past, what she found only deepened the mystery. His records were strangely inconsistent. His past employment history, his travel records, there were gaps, missing pieces, things that didn't quite align. It was almost as if someone had erased parts of his past, replacing them with carefully curated information meant to withstand casual scrutiny but not the watchful eyes of someone like Ava. The most chilling discovery came when Ava realized that Jeffrey's arrival in Port Charles coincided with several other mysterious events, ones that, on the surface, seemed unrelated but, when examined together, suggested something much bigger was at play. Nina, caught between her feelings for Jeffrey and the growing doubts whispered into her ear by those around her, was now faced with a painful choice: follow her heart and risk being blindsided by the truth, or listen to her friends and question the very foundation of the connection she had come to cherish. And yet, despite all the warning signs, there was something undeniably compelling about Jeffrey, something that made it difficult to believe he could be entirely deceptive. He wasn't just playing a part. There were moments when his feelings for Nina seemed completely genuine. The way he looked at her, the way his expression softened when she spoke of her dreams and fears, was that all an act, or was there real emotion beneath the mask? Was it possible that he had arrived in Port Charles with a mission but had unexpectedly fallen for the woman he was meant to deceive? Or was that merely another layer of manipulation, a calculated move to ensure he kept Nina exactly where he needed her to be? As the tension builds, so does the looming sense of inevitable revelation. Secrets cannot remain buried forever, and Jeffrey's carefully constructed facade is beginning to show signs of crumbling. But what will happen when the truth finally comes to light? Will Nina be heartbroken, betrayed by a man she believed was different from all the others who had hurt her? Or will she find herself entangled in something far more dangerous than just a broken heart, something that could put her life in jeopardy? The coming episodes promise to be some of the most intense and unpredictable that General Hospital has seen in years. Jeffrey's presence is not just about romance, it's about power, deception, and a game much larger than anyone realizes. And when the truth finally unravels, it won't just be Nina's world that is turned upside down, it will send shockwaves through all of Port Charles. Viewers won't want to miss a single moment as newcomer Guy Gansert delivers a riveting performance, bringing Jeffrey to life with a complexity that will keep audiences guessing until the very last moment. Will he be revealed as a villain, a hero, or something in between? The answers are coming, but in Port Charles, nothing is ever as it seems. Stay tuned.